Good evening again. I am here with another quick 10-minute video. Hopefully it'll just be 10 minutes. And I'm going to be using an image from Pexels, P-E-X-E-L-S, .com, which is a royalty-free website. And I will be using this reference, which is by Tim Kenkar. And let's see here. Tim Kenkar right here. And, whoa. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and start. And I'm just doing this in ballpoint pen. Of course, I just lost it. Okay. Hold on here. All right. So when I sketch in ballpoint pen, I haven't made this smaller yet. You can see an example of what I do. This was just a reference from Pinterest. And I'm going to go ahead and sit her right about here. That fish is not annoying at all, is it? Okay. Let's cover up the fish so he's not just staring at us. How best to do this? Ooh. Okay, we're just going to use this mixed media pad to cover him up, make it a little bit. Okay, so I start, and I don't sketch like other people do. I don't know, like you're supposed to do. But, so here I'm going to start. And I'm probably not going to do it as detailed as I did this other drawing next to it, next to her. But I'm going to go ahead and start right here, starting with the nose. And I'm coming in with just the shape first. And this other one took me, probably an hour or so to do. That the one to the right. Oh, you can't see all of a sudden. Okay, here we go. We've got this, and I can go ahead and get her kind of the shape of the nose in here. She has some piercings, and it gives a very distinctive shape to her nose. Let's go ahead and get that ring in here so I can know where to start the top of her lip. And again, I'm not going to be able to get it as detailed as I did on the other one, even though, I was going really fast with the other one as well. But trying to do it with a camera on is a little different. So she has another ring here. And she's got another ring right over here. And then her lip actually comes right up to the ball on this nose ring, on the septum ring. So, and I'm also not going to go for pure realism because, again, I'm kind of in a time crunch here. And so I'm going to go for more the feel rather than an actual, like a portrait. Alright, so, and then we've got the chin starting right here. We actually have piercing right here. And then we have, this is a straightforward face because, you know, she's looking straight forward. No pun intended. Okay. And then we've got the what do you call it? Her jawline coming up. I'm guessing this is going to be a little over 10 minutes. And so let's go ahead and I'm going to start moving a little faster here. Since, as I said, I'm on a time constraint. And we've got her one eye starting right about here, and it lines up with the edge of her nose. And then you have about a distance of another eye. And we start right about over here. Would probably be easier if I had some guidelines, if I had drawn some guidelines in, but I just wanted to show you how it is when I really quickly sketch someone in a ballpoint pen. So make sure they're kind of the same size, about in the same proportion and distance. Got this one, and she has her brows. They come up fairly close here and then cut out like so. Again, they come out, and this is more in shadow. So we've got a nice, it tapers out to a nice thin brow here. And since her eyes, she's looking straight forward, looking straight at us, the viewer. That gives us a steady gaze. Okay, yeah, you could see that. A little fish kind of peeking through here. Okay, then we've also got, all right, so her hair, she's got straight bangs coming across right about this distance up. Which I tend to draw a lot of bangs. For most of my life I had bangs. Bangs quite like this, actually. I don't have them right now, but I can always tell when I'm ready to get them again because I start drawing and painting people that have them. Just like how I can tell when I'm ready to grow them out again because I start drawing people that don't have bangs. Okay. Let's see here. Let's get the kind of the shape of the hair in. And I'm making a lot of scratchy marks here, but it's not really what I would do if I was taking my time. And let me know if you do want to see one. Oh, here we go. If you want to see one where I am taking my time, and I can even do a time lapse. Or if you're willing to sit for a much longer period of time and just do a draw along, then that's fine too. Just let me know. We're going to go ahead and get a bit of her hood in here. She's wearing a hooded jacket. And it's like a fall image, which I really miss fall. Like I've said in a couple other videos, that's really hot here. It's been really hot here for a really long time. We haven't seen anything lower than 3-digit temperatures in months. All right, I take that back. We did have a thunderstorm the other day, and it took it down to like the 80s. So that was kind of nice. I really like thunderstorms. I like lightning. The only thing I don't like is when the electricity goes off, like it did. Just because there's nothing to do when it does that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get some of the shading in here to make it look a little more like her. She's got kind of a plain, like kind of a Barbie doll face right now. And that is not what the image is about, and that is not what I'm going for here. Let's bring this in a little bit. She's got kind of thin, dark liner on the underside. Comes up in a type of cat's eye. And then let's cut across here. Got color that in because it is actually a purple, but I'm using a blue pen, so it's not gonna equate completely. Not that I was trying to. As I said, I'm not going for an actual an exact likeness, but I'm going to add in just a bit of shading here. Hopefully that's catching. Yeah, okay. And sitting here using my phone to record, my husband's phone for the reference. And so I would like to get more of the the personality, although like I said, I'm in a hurry, so I'm not going for a complete likeness. Now when you're using a ballpoint pen, it is an oil-based ink, and you want to use that to your advantage. You can get some really nice shading, especially when you're going slower, and taking your time. But yeah, if I was going for more of a likeness, her mouth would be wider and skinnier. But and they're watching TV. Okay. All right, so if we get this the shading in on her nose, and I should have made it to where his phone doesn't turn off quite so fast. It starts going dim really fast, but that's all right. I'll just keep messing with it. And let's see, we've got more shadow over here. We've got some shadow in here. Oh, I think I was talking about how to more shade with ballpoint pen. There's several different ways. You can use hatching, cross hatching, as I did in the girl's dress over here. I can scoot over a little bit, as I did in her dress, and see. It looks like a lot of detail, but it's really not. I did that relatively fast. All right, bring back up here. Oh, okay. So we're gonna add in just a little bit of the hair here, texture. And she has blonde hair, and so you shade that a little differently, obviously, than you do someone with darker hair. But you still want it, and she does have dark roots, and they do come through. So we're gonna just kind of feather that in here. And when you're doing hair, you really don't want to do like each individual hair. You want to just kind of put in the effect of it. But let's see here. Where do I want to go here? Because you don't want to make it too harsh. A ballpoint pen can be rather harsh. You can get really harsh lines that don't look right. And I am getting harsher lines than I intend to. But again, that wouldn't happen if I was taking my time. Add a little bit of this shadow underneath the bangs because they stand a little bit off of the face. Let's give some just some shading right in here. And again, yeah, I'm not really blending it because I'm already 18 minutes in. That is already 8 minutes longer than I intended to be. But, you know, whatever it calls for. If I'd known that I was going to be taking my time, and I'm not really, but taking more time, I would have gone ahead and made this a time lapse. But I honestly don't have a lot of time tonight. Got to get to bed early. And so we will just see what we can do. See what we can see. Got some shading in here. You don't really want to get into like a Napoleon Dynamite situation, or like, you know, spending 6 hours on her upper lip. But let's add in a little bit of shading here, a little bit of shading over here, and get a little bit more depth over here. She's got a really interesting face. And again, I said I wasn't going to go for a likeness, and I'm really not. I'm still just kind of going for a feel. I do intend to do more with this particular image later. She's got a necklace choker here that's starting Right about here. And we've got this other part of it coming up around. And you can see the top of the leather. And then we've got another spike coming out right about here. Got some reflected light. We've got this part is more in shadow, but it does curve on around. And then we've got a little bit of a spike in here. And that is pretty much all you can see of that particular necklace, at least from the angle that I'm at. And you do want to add in the shadow. It does have a little more shadow in here. Again, I wasn't intending to go this much in detail. And again, it's not really detail. Let's see. This part is a little bit lighter. I do often do 2-minute drawings as well, which are supposed to be gesture drawings, you know, getting just the movement, the shape of it, but I've never been good at just sticking with gesture. I always end up, I prefer to actually see how much of the detail and how much of the likeness I can get during 2 minutes, for 2 minutes. And let's see here. In this case, obviously I'm taking a little bit more time, but and you always want to follow, of course, follow the shape of the form. In this case, it's the neck. You want it to kind of wrap around, gives it form. This is a little darker here. Of course, this part is all in shadow. So let's get a little more shadow here. And then we've got more shadow up underneath. The screen keeps going dark. And, you know, that's what it is here. I didn't give the shadow from the eyelid. That's what's bothering me. Well, that's one of the things that's bothering me. All right, so we've got this. Got this part here. Some more hair coming down here. And again, and now this part is completely in shadow. So go ahead and put that right there. This part right here is completely in shadow. And then we've got some more shadow here, a little bit of shadow here, coming up around here. And of course this side is more in shadow, so you want to kind of give it just the feel of shading. And I do not like how I feathered that, but you know, c'est la vie. Again, when I'm spending a little more time on it, I can spend a little more time on it. How's that? There's some kind of another necklace underneath here. And so we're just gonna go with that. Oh, and pen and ink, ballpoint pen and regular black ink pen you can get some really cool textures in them. They are a lot of fun to work with. And you can get, oh man, you can get some really amazing textures and reflections. And that's one of the really fun things about them. Let's see here. She has a little bit of a chain necklace under here. So I'm putting in just kind of a feel of it right here. And then it goes on into, can you see? Yeah, actually make it a little bit smaller there, a little farther away so you can actually see what's going on. And then we've got another chain coming in over here. This one is more obscured by the hair, so it only comes in about that far. And we have a lock, like a padlock for the necklace. So let's go ahead and add in that other little padlock here. I just realized I have totally changed the proportion. This is an absolutely huge padlock, whereas on the image it's really not that large. But as I say, c'est la vie. And we're just gonna go with it, because that's what we got. And that's what I'm gonna do. Don't know why I just sounded like Yogi Bear. But again, that's just what happens. Okay. And so you can kind of see how you start getting, you're just putting in just the idea of shape and shadow and a little bit of a shape of the corrosion on this lock. It's not a shiny lock, and again, I gotta make sure the image doesn't go dark on me here. All right, so we have some of her hair coming down around here. It obscures a bit of that spike, and then it obscures the rest of this chain. So, and then we've got the neckline on her shirt. Comes up about here. I'll go ahead and bring the hair down a bit. Let's see here. And of course, we're not going to go much farther than this. This is already almost 30 minutes. And oh, can you see that? Oh, you can't even see. Hello. Sorry about that. Okay. I'm not going to go any farther down than this because it's, again, I'm out of time, honestly. Way out of time. But we are going to go ahead and add in, if I was using a black pen, I would just grab a bigger black pen and do this part, this hood. It definitely has a fuzzy feel to it, a fuzzy look. And I'm not going for that entire fuzzy look, but I am getting a bit of the texture. Can you see that? Yes, you can. Okay. Bit of the texture. And I will say Pexels is an amazing site. And there are other royalty-free websites, obviously. I think, oh man, I don't remember the names right now. Pixabay, I don't know, maybe Pexels, High something. Yeah. All right. Anyway, right now I'm still just getting that kind of feel, and the deep black. In this case, the deep blue. And then, of course, her hood. Actually, it comes out a little further here because it curves back in. Nice, big fluffy looking coat. And it's under a leather jacket, or maybe it's part of the leather jacket. I just know that it's got a nice shape, and of course I really like this style. And let's go ahead and get the other side done in here. Hopefully you can still hear me. I just realized I came down closer to the drawing, and the phone is up above. So we're just gonna kind of come back through here, and I'll come up a little bit closer again, a little closer up to the phone. And all right, I'm gonna stop talking there. Okay, let's get that the dark. Okay, I'm not sure where that stopped, but honestly, we don't, like I said, we don't have a whole lot of time left here. So I am going to just kind of shade in a bit of the skin tone here so that you can, the necklace kind of stands up off the skin. And this is honestly a little darker here. There's a lot of shadow because the light is coming in this direction and kind of from the side. So you can't have just a whole lot of brightness on that side. Have a little bit. And of course, if you decide that you want to change where your light source is, you have free rein to do that. Just make sure that you keep it consistent, unless you want it to look like it is not part of an actual place, an actual setting. And normally when you're doing art, you kind of want that, right? So I really don't like leaving this light, so I'm just gonna do a quick color in of her shirt, which is actually an Iron Maiden shirt, but I'm not going to draw anything in because, again, in a hurry. And so you see how I'm just filling this in quite fast, just to kind of cover, but I'm also leaving the lines for my the light from the zipper on this jacket. And her jacket also has a lot of studs, and I really actually love rendering. I love rendering leather. It's just very I don't know the word. It's just it's kind of a soothing thing to draw because of the way that the light hits everything. You want it to look soft and yet stiff, and so it's got, oh man, look at this. I'm adding in I'm adding in a few of the studs. That was again not what I was gonna do. Excuse me. Hope that wasn't too loud, especially if you're using headphones. So, and this part is actually part of the hood, still coming down. So we will, I'm guessing this is a part of a jacket she's got underneath. So we're just going to bring that on around. Or maybe it's one of those scarves that has a hat attached. You know, the ones that, I live in Texas, so I don't know what these things are called. I live in southern Texas. We get a lot of heat and not a lot of cold. Although I think we're going to be getting snow again this year. Just be nice if we don't lose all the electricity like we did back in 21. And nobody has winter clothes or, yeah, that was fun. Okay. Just going to put in just the idea of some studs. And we're going to kind of put in the idea of the leather. And the idea of this part of the leather. And that is probably about all that we're going to have time for. All we're going to have time for. We don't have time for this. We didn't have time for this. Okay. But so you can kind of see where I went with it. I didn't stick to the image completely or even very much. I don't know. It's besides the fact that it's a lady with bangs and a hood, and that's about it. Okay. Well, I will see you all in the next one. Hopefully this isn't too long for you and you've enjoyed it. Let me know. And if you prefer shorter ones again, I will definitely do that. And I'll just make sure that I stick to the plan. And if I can also do it as a time lapse, and then I can have something more finished, not rushed, but that is only 10 to 15 minutes long. Okay. And here I go, adding more into it. All right. I really gotta stop. Okay, I'm gonna stop. All right, really, after this, I'm gonna stop. Okay, really, honestly, that's where I stop. Okay, have a beautiful night, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.